Okay. That I have this discipline of learning technology, where I'm going to be focusing in serious games. Is really what I want to do, and training. Family and community literacy would be the concentration of my games. Dealing with not just teaching adults how to read and write, but how to, just sustain themselves. What do you think about that combination in teaching or in training?
I think if it's done well, it can be a really good I think anytime you gamify anything, especially in this day and age, there's a lot of value added if you do it well. If you follow good educational pedagogy, it'll work out beautifully. Are you going to create the games yourself? Are you the one who's going to program them, or how are you going to go?
I don't know yet, because I don't know how to program games yet. So,
do you have any programming background?
More like visual basic type programming, but nothing.
So you've still got some programming. The thing about programming is the languages change, but the concepts are the same.
Okay.
Once you've got a handle, or at least a relative understanding on one, it's easier to pick up something else because you've already got the concepts of programming.
Okay.
So I did programming way back in the dark ages, and I don't program anymore. I haven't for years, but the concepts even still help me with some of the stuff when you deal with technology.
Okay.
So, and the reason I ask that is because depending on whether or not you want to do the programming, you change the direction of your degree. If you want to do if you want to build the gaming apps yourself, then you need to you need to get some programming classes under your belt so that you can do that. If you don't want to do that, then you have to be prepared to pay someone money, and usually a lot of money, to pull those things together for you. So if you pull some of your education pedagogy and programming together, you can do exactly what you want to do.
Yeah, I would like to at least know. If I don't mind paying someone, but I want to know what I'm paying for. I taught myself a lot about automobiles, so I can't get ripped off from a mechanic. I want the same type of relationship with any kind of projects I'm a part of. I guess I should back up and ask, what do you do here at the Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning?
Or what have I done?
All of the above. That sounds like a loaded question.
Believe it or not, I started this. It wasn't this big, but I'm the one who started this 10 years ago.
Okay.
I am not a manager. I don't want to be a manager. I got out of that business, but we were a little tiny entity. See where that door is? We were actually over there. We built the door when this expanded.
This is awesome too.
Isn't it? It looks beautiful.
This is
really
beautiful.
Nice
I want to take some pictures of it.
So we started off as a really small entity. It's a faculty resource center. It's still a faculty resource center. It's just we went from a team of 8 to a team of 60 almost overnight. So what you've got in this space now is you've got instructional technology, which is where I work now, instructional design, which is where I used to work, multimedia team, labs and classrooms, active learning spaces. I can't remember what Tiffany does. And then you've also got the, most of those fall under the Center for Innovative Instruction. Then you've also got the Center for, it's a CIE, Center for, darn it, I can't remember what they stand for. Anyway, they focus on the teaching side.
Okay, and that's all housed?
It's all housed right here.
Okay.
We've got different offices, different people who work across campus, but most of it's right here. So we've got in this space, we've got 2 audio recording studios, we've got a video recording studio, we've got a learning center right there, we've got faculty workspace right here. It's a drop-in resource for faculty. They can come in, they can ask questions, they can get help with anything that has to do with their teaching, they can get help with here.
Okay.
And then we help with all kinds of other things, like someone will walk in and say, Zoe, I got a new computer, fix it for me. I'm serious. Here, set this up for me. I don't know how to do it. We get everything. Everything walks through the door. It's amazing. That's part of the reason I like my job. It's amazing because you never know what's going to happen or what content area you're going to deal with. We also have an equipment checkout for faculty. Laptops, tripods, iPads, sound recording equipment, lighting kits, stuff that I don't even know we have anymore. We get tons and tons of stuff. So that's what this space is for. That's what's involved here.
Is this exclusively for faculty?
Yes.
Okay. So those look like students at the front. Are they interns or research assistants?
They are not research assistants. Those are student assistants. We hire them to manage the front. They're we've got students up here, and then we've got a student innovative fellow project. They sit back behind that glass wall back there. There's a series of computers. They work back there. We've got a couple of really high-end computers over here. They're redoing downtown Atlanta like it was in 1920s, but they're doing it in a 3D environment. It's really cool.
Yeah.
There's stuff going on here I don't even know. We've got a training. We do faculty and student training. But yeah, those are the only students that are allowed here. This is a safe place for faculty to come and sit and work. I'm serious, because a lot of instructors feel very intimidated if there's a student around while they're trying to learn something. They don't want to look
like they don't.
They don't want to. They want to. A lot of them, not all of them. Some of them don't care. They don't care if they walk in front of the class and go, you know what, I have no idea what we're doing, but let's try. And some are like, oh no, I have to know exactly what I'm doing when I walk in, because I don't want to look even remotely vulnerable.
Right.
So this is a safe space for them to learn how to do stuff, to practice, to come sit and work in a quiet environment, whatever. That's what the space is for. That's part of what, we try to meet all their teaching needs as well. We do a pretty good job too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you just made me think of like 20 questions from that, but you said at first, instructional design, or you're in instructional.
I started off, I've got a degree in instructional design.
Okay. I'm
now what they call an instructional technologist.
What's the difference?
Good question. It took me a long time to figure that one out. There really isn't a lot of difference. It's the terminology that allows ones. Instructional designers here are helping build instructional programs. So a dean of a college or a chair will come in and say, look, we've got this, we need to build this program out. We're helping, for example, they're helping the nursing department build out their PhD program. They're helping College of Business build out one of their new programs. So they're starting from scratch with these guys, and they're building out programs, and they're designing instruction. So the way I got into this was, I've got a background in education, and I got hired at a university in California. Instructors, it's changing now, but most PhDs who teach have never been taught how to teach. That's why some of the classes you sit through suck. They're horrible.
I didn't say that.
You don't have to. I've been in education 30 years. I know exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
I see it sitting here helping people. They go in, they bring up a PowerPoint, they read the PowerPoint slides to you. It's generally over the reading you were supposed to do anyway. It's like, that's not teaching. That's it. So universities realized that, so they started hiring instructional designers to come in, to have faculty come in and get help enhancing their courses. So the instructional design part is, I'll sit down with a faculty member and they'll go, it runs the gamut about what we do, but anything. I had one instructor who came in, this was several years ago, but she's like, Zoe, the class that I teach is the most boring class on the planet, and every single person in my major has to take it. What do we do? So we went through and looked at the content, and we found some ways to make it less boring. We found some ways to beef it up, to make it more fun for the students, because it was really, really boring, but everybody had to take it. I had one instructor come in and say, hey, I've got a relationship now in my life. I have got to quit working so hard teaching, or I'm going to lose my relationship. What can we do to make my life easier? Or there's this concept students just aren't understanding. Every time I teach it, they fail on the test. What are we going to do? So it really does run the gamut. And we just take it. Or I want to try something new. I'm tired of doing it this way. What do I do? So we take it from there and go. So that's the instructional design part. You're designing instruction. Okay. The instructional technology part, we do on this campus. We do mostly technology support. We do a lot of, hey, how do I use a test in iCollege? Or there's this new piece of software out, I want to integrate in my course. What do I do? How do I do it? How do I use it? Those kinds of things. I also get people that come in and say, I'm putting a class fully online next semester or the semester after, whatever. How do I go about that? Because it's not a program, they don't do that. That's something I can do, and I've got the credentials for it. So that's the difference. One's more on the technology and support side. The other one's strictly designing the instruction. Those guys over there design the instruction, and then they turn their customers over to us to help support whatever they've designed.
Got it. So, and you also said you get to work with a lot of different professors from a lot of different disciplines.
It's whoever walks through that door.
Yeah, so in a way, this is a true interdisciplinary
Yes.
house, because you have to learn how to marry the. I mean, I'm just thinking like if you're not a expert in the subject, do you have to
Nope,
teach
that's
yourself?
what the instructors for.
Okay, and you just are an expert in the application of different teaching strategies, or you giving them in? Because say you got a chemistry teacher, a professor come in, and you don't have a chemistry background.
I've never taken a chemistry class in my life,
Okay,
but I have had chemistry. I have worked with chemistry professors. There's some cool stuff out there for chemistry right now.
and so you find
I sit down with the instructor and find out what the issue is, what their teaching style is, and from there we figure out what they can do to help. Sometimes it involves research. Often it's just brainstorming. Look, did you know there's this tool, you can do this, or did you know in iColors you can do this to help with that? It's mostly just that kind of thing. A lot of that from the team that I work with, a lot of that from our standpoint is it's just experience. We've all been educators at one time or another, so we all have an idea about how to put things together to make them more palatable, make the learning for the students better.
okay. So I'm curious too, because you said you have a fellow. I always think of fellows as like PhD level. Is that not?
These are all undergrads.
Undergrad.
They're all undergrads. It's an application process. It's very competitive. I have no idea what they're working on anymore because I don't deal with that anymore. But they do all kinds of really cool things. Last semester they were designing things to be used with 3D glasses with the Oculus Rift. They do all kinds of stuff. Really cool some of the stuff they're putting out.
So does this department have any internships or graduate research assistants? No research projects, or is that with those other facets that are under?
Right now, we don't have any research assistants because we're not doing any research. We're working with faculty to do research, but we aren't doing research. Yeah, we're part of a lot of research, but we're not doing it ourselves.
Is that a reason? Is it because you're so pulled by the different faculty?
I'm not sure how we would do research.
Okay. Yeah, it's just it seems like everywhere I go, that's what they talk about.
It's a research university.
Yeah,
they're trying to. This university was a really world-renowned research university in the 70s, and then things backslid. And Dr. Becker, the new president, wants to put us back in the international arena again. So the push really is on research. It's huge on research right now. But we're involved in a lot of research projects. As far as I know, we're not doing any research ourselves. Although the grant we just got might have research involved. I don't know. There's too much going on. I can't keep track.
So you've been here for how long?
I've been here 15 years.
15 years. Okay. And so you've seen this space kind of build out. Like, what is something that you saw come about in that time that you thought, wow, I
didn't think this would ever happen. I never thought this would happen. This happened because Dr. Becker realized that the university was going nowhere as far as instruction goes. So it's a long political story, but they ended up hiring a chief innovation officer. Not a chief information officer, but a chief innovation officer. And he looked around and he looked at us and went, you guys are the most underutilized, understaffed group on campus. We need to change that. That's how all this happened. I sat for 8 years with myself and a couple grad students, and then we got a manager, and we hired a couple other support people, and then he came along and he just blew it up and just grew.
Yeah. So if you could describe the office, because I see like cubicles, that's the staff workspace.
Almost all of this is staff. This was not designed to be staff workspace, but it turns out it almost all is.
Okay. This
is not staff workspace. This is instructor workspace right in here. That is open to the campus to use for different things.
Is that
This is really cool.
It looks pretty cool.
This is really cool because this is a wall. We've got pieces of parts out there. When we need to expand the space, the wall can come down. These can actually be used as seats. This is, I can't remember, this is
That's pretty
this is
cool.
called the Learning Center. So we've got here, we'll give you a quick tour. So we've got 2 audio studios here, we've got our 3D printers over there that is actually building something. We've got 2 audio studios. That's our break room. This is our video studio.
Cool.
It's really cool with the glass.
You know, this is like what I see on YouTube when I'm trying to figure out how to do an assignment.
It's really, really cool. It's nice because cameras shoot backwards, so that shows up the right
Take a
way.
picture of that. That is awesome. So how are they? They are on the other side? Wow.
The camera shoots backwards, so it shows up the right way.
And so they're writing in front of it.
They're
Wow.
writing and talking. They're mic'd. They're writing and talking. Now that's not always here. That can be pulled out. We've got a green screen back there and a black
I
screen and all
see
kinds of
that.
stuff. So there are all kinds of different lectures and